My name is Ross Hawkins. I'm Global RAM Manager at Brompton Bicycle Limited. Market research informs how we develop the bike, what designs we make on it, and also how we promote the bike and who we promote it to. So research can take on a number of different forms. When we're talking about design, we'll be asking for feedback from our customers, the shops that buy the bike, and also end consumers, the people using the bikes, as well as doing things like observational studies. So the design team will go out and just observe how people fold and unfold the bike or use the bike in daily cases, and that will inform the priorities that we have for the new designs that we apply on the bike. In terms of how we promote the bike, we'll be looking at, along with kind of best-in-class standards and what other companies are doing, as well as talking again to our customers, getting feedback, and that feedback can either be formal, so we'll be going out and saying, here's a survey, we want you to fill out these certain questions, or it's quite informal stuff, so things that our sales reps will be, when they go out and visit different stores, they'll be picking up anecdotal evidence all the time along the way, and then they'd feed that into the brief for, okay, we need to improve the website or the brochure or something like that, and how we promote it. And then market research also forms who we promote the bike to. It's very important when you have finite resources, like any company, that you have a target audience. That doesn't mean that people outside of that audience wouldn't necessarily buy the product, but you want to have a target audience so you can make sure your messages are clear to them. So the way we define our target audience is by looking at how people, our current consumer base, and then also what we think the consumer base could be. So we'll get research from all sorts of different areas for that. And then we put that all together, and then that kind of informs our decisions for each year, and we'll be assessing that each year and putting out the new bike designs, and then also putting out new promotional literature to support that. There is a wide variance in the way people use the bike around the world, and so consequently the markets and the way we promote the bikes and that kind of thing varies from territory to territory. Very broadly speaking, in Europe the bike tends to be used in a very functional case, so there is lots of people using it for commuting to work, getting about their daily lives and then socialising in the evening. It's very much a functional tool. In Asia it's maybe a bit different. People are using the bike they still have the same constraints that people in Europe do, so they maybe live in a small apartment in the city, don't have space for a full-size bike, but they're typically using the bikes a bit more for leisure at the weekend. Commuting on a bike isn't very popular in most of the big Asian cities at the moment. So more typical use case would be keeping the bike folded up during the week, then at the weekend going out to a nice park or a river or a lake, and then using it for leisure and just having a nice ride kind of for exercise and just for fun. So that means that, and then in the US, kind of a hybrid between those, but that means that people use the bikes in different ways, so in some ways it's promoted in different ways. In Europe we'll be much more heavier on the functional benefits of this bike is robust and great for getting you to and from work. It can fold up and you can take it on a train because you might go on a train every day to work. And in Asia, because it's linked in a bit more to lifestyle, we might dial up a bit more about the premium nature of it. It's a luxury bike made in London, hand brazed, and look at all the attention to detail in it, because that kind of thing's appreciated a lot more there. So that's just one example of how it varies, and then obviously when you get down into the depths of how you market a product, there's different channels that people like. So in Europe we're very familiar with Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Actually if you get to Asia, there's actually quite a different array of channels and media that you might use. And so we try working with our distributors in each of those markets to work out what the best mix is to promote the brand effectively. So market research informs everything we do. When it comes to design on the bike, we'll be looking at what the priorities are and what we want our design team to focus on in terms of making the bike more appealing. And so the feedback, if we get lots of feedback saying, hey, we want the gear triggers to operate more effectively, or they just don't feel quite as premium enough for this kind of bike, then that's feedback that we'd put into the design team, and they'd prioritise that as a change, and that's a change that's coming up now. It can also inform the softer things, so things like colours on the bike. We'd go out and look at what the colour trends are for the future, and we'd also ask our customers and maybe go out and do a poll on our consumers and say, what colours would you like to see on the bike in future years? And that will inform what kind of colours are available. So it's kind of informing everything we do, and that's probably, although we get collecting research all the time, it's normally on a once yearly basis when we change designs of the bike or change the way we're promoting the bike that will come in.